My name is Simpiwe Mabele. I am with the International Labour Organization. I'm based in Pretoria in the office called Decent Work Team for East and Southern Africa. And I am responsible for the portfolio that focuses on health and wellness. And this includes gender equality, diversity, and inclusion programs. We are here in Gqeberha in this workshop that is supported by the ILO, particularly one of our projects focusing in fisheries. And it's a capacity building program on forced labor in the fishing vessels. And the importance of this particular program is really to look at the application of international labor standards. And hence it brings together governments in the form of DFFE, and we have the Department of Employment and Labor. We also have SAMSA as the regulator. And we are supporting this work not only from one international labor standard, Convention 188, but also we are looking at other standards as well, like Convention 190 on violence and harassment. We are looking at Recommendation 206, and we will be zooming into occupational safety and health as well, especially that occupational safety and health became a fundamental principle and right at work, which means it has to be elevated. And we hear from left, right, and center that there are issues and challenges related to occupational safety and health. And we believe that through the application of international labor standards, local legislation, we can improve the working conditions of fisheries. And I must mention that this is also in the context of decent work. And as we may be aware that decent work is characterized by 4 pillars, where we look at rights at work, employment creation, social protection, and social dialogue. So part of this process requires us to ensure that there is decent work for all, including the people that work on those vessels.
It is my understanding that this is the second of its kind type of training workshop that you are conducting in South Africa. Against the backdrop, in your assessment from an ILO perspective, how ready is South Africa in terms of enabling legislation and regulations to assist this international effort?
So South Africa, as a member state of the ILO, I think has always been ready. There, however, is ratification of the international labor standards does not only end at ratification. The conventions require application. And sometimes you will realize that, yes, legislation will be developed, but still there will be limitations because the application of these conventions is not sometimes done in the entirety of the convention. And then you realize that there are some limitations and gaps. But I also want to mention that as the ILO is a tripartite agency of the United Nations, and what this means is we bring together government, employers, and trade unions. We have done workshops of this nature with the trade unions. We now have in government, and I think more still has to be done with the employers, particularly in this industry that we are focusing on in this project.
The workshop is precisely on forced labor in the fishing sector. In your understanding, how prevalent is forced labor within the South African context? Do we have a serious problem as South Africans in this regard, in your assessment?
So we do have a serious problem. as much as I will not necessarily get into the figures right now, but you will remember that this is an industry that is also characterized by issues of migration, people who are from outside, and therefore there is sometimes an issue when it comes to compliance. You will also recall that when the representative from the Department of Employment and Labor spoke earlier, he made reference to some limitations they have, because the Department of Employment and Labor has a branch called Inspection and Enforcement Services, and their inspectors are not allowed, the law does not allow them currently to actually go and inspect the vessels from an occupational health and safety point of view. So those are some of the limitations that are there. And by no means we're saying SAMSA doesn't have the capacity. Yes, SAMSA does have the capacity, but we should also remember that the mandate of the Department of Employment and Labor is to enforce the Occupational Health and Safety Act in South Africa. So if you have limitations also in the law, then it means you're still going to have some of these pervasive kind of problems.
Final question on the issue of employers. You've engaged with government institutions, as is the case here now. You have engaged, as you indicated earlier, with labor unions. What approach do you make in terms of employers? Is it similar, or do you engage them in any other way? And what are the plans currently?
So this program does include employers, as I indicated, because the ILO uses a tripartite approach. And the program, we have specific programs where we would sometimes, prepare materials that, are strengthening the capacity of employers. Not that it's a different approach, but just to make sure that the language that is spoken and the language that is used in applying these standards is understood by the employers. So the employers, yes, they are on board, but we still need to make sure that a lot is done, because the world of work is changing. As I indicated earlier when I was talking about the future of work, so the employers also have to understand, those dynamics that are emerging. For an example, we are talking of issues related to violence and harassment, and the vessels or this industry is not immune from those. And we have now standards that are addressing violence and harassment. So we need to strengthen the capacity of employers to ensure that violence and harassment is prevented even before it happens.
Sir, thank you very much for your time. I truly appreciate it. It's all very enlightening.
Thank you. It is my pleasure.